ESPN this morning recently put out, this morning, not recently, this morning, obviously, put out their list of their top 10 quarterbacks. And this list, obviously, is to drive conversation as we get closer to football. It's easy to forget that, because normally the NBA Finals go through June, and then from there we have like a month before training camp, and then training camp starts like in middle, late July. But because of the NBA, starting the year late, and the finals still going on now as they enter mid-July rather, we forget. The NFL's training camp is opening, I think, next week or the week after. So we're not really going to get much of a break. So we're still getting NBA basketball and still getting fed some NFL stuff with the hype coming up now. Anyway, so ESPN, of course, with all the hype, put out their top 10 quarterback list. And honestly, I don't have a problem with it. I may tweak some of this stuff here and there on the list, the order, but I think the 10 guys they put on this list, they pretty much got it right. Let's go 10-1. Number 10, they got Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals. Number 9, they got Justin Herbert, which I think will be a top 5 quarterback by the end of this year. Number 8, Lamar Jackson. Feels a little low. Number 7, Dak Prescott. Number 6, Matthew Stafford. 5, Josh Allen. 4, Russell Wilson. 3, Tom Brady. 2, Aaron Rodgers. And 1, Patrick Mahomes. Now, what got me intrigued about this topic, because I was at work today, and First Take was on in the background, and the disclaimer was really, or the question was, first off, is Tom Brady a top 3 quarterback coming into the year? Now, if you asked me this question last year at this very time, when he just left New England to come to Tampa Bay, given what he did in New England the year before, I would have told you no. In fact, I probably would have told you he was not a top 10 quarterback, because granted, Tom Brady didn't have a lot of weapons. That's true. But that was one of his worst years in recent memory. His last year in New England was not that good. We can sit there and debate why and who was there and whatnot. We get all that. But if you ask me that right now, coming to the year, as Tom Brady is Super Bowl champion right now, absolutely he's top 3 quarterback right now, based on last year. He had one of his best years of his career last season at age 43. Okay, he threw 40 touchdowns for starters. Okay, and he closed games out when he needed to. Yeah, were there games like the playoff game against the Packers, threw 3 picks? Yeah, whatever. We get all that. A lot of those picks also were tap balls. So we'll also, for context state, of course. I know certain people listen to the podcast might see that and think I'm being a Brady homer. I'm not being a Brady homer, but they got it right here. Like 1 and 2 and 3, honestly, is correct. Is dead on. Pat Mahomes number 1, Aaron Rodgers number 2, the MVP number 3, Tom Brady. People will say, well, why not Russell Wilson? Why is that higher on your list? Well, you know me. I'm a Russell Wilson stan. I'm a Russell Wilson fanatic. But he had dips last year. He had a couple dips the third quarter of the year, which is why he's a little lower. Still top 5 quarterback in the league. Josh Allen number 5. Does it feel a little high? Josh Allen was very productive last year. This is all based off last year, obviously, so you can't go wrong here. I have no problem with that. Where I might have question marks here is number 6, Matthew Stafford. Now, you guys know I am a big Matthew Stafford fan. I've been one of the bigger Matthew Stafford, not apologists, but one of the bigger Matthew Stafford defenders. I got a couple of friends who are Lions fans who couldn't stand him. I used to defend Stafford on the regular. Saying he was a top 15, 12 quarterback in the league. Number 6 feels high, but I feel like he's here because of where he is right now, playing on a team that, honestly, is a borderline Super Bowl contender. The Rams are a borderline Super Bowl contender. And you got a guy like Matthew Stafford, who's clearly better than Jared Goff, in my opinion. But I think that's they're not playing the result here. That is boosting him, because they expect him to do great things with the LA Rams. But to me, you can't just put him there just because. Now, is Matthew Stafford right now a top 10 quarterback in the league? Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you saying, top 10, but number 6 feels a little high. Dak Prescott, number 7, Dallas Cowboys, come off injury. Feels a little high because of the injury. We don't know how it's going to look, obviously. Like, Lamar Jackson should be number 6. Like, Lamar Jackson should be number 6 in this list. Okay, I'm okay with you putting Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson right now, just because of last year. Josh Allen was more consistent than Lamar Jackson. Okay, but to have him behind Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott is a little bit whatever. But it's also, it's inches here at this point. Number 9, like I said, Justin Herbert. Like I said, I think by the end of this year we'll be looking at this guy as a possible top 5 quarterback in the league. The LA Chargers. They got a good one out there, and of course number 10, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, like I said, he's been fantastic. It's time to take it to the next level. Obviously, take his team to the playoffs. We'll see how that goes this year. But it does feel like there's a little bit of separation now with quarterbacks. Obviously, with Drew Brees being gone, so retiring. You have guys we had in this list maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, not even on this list anymore. Like I said, Drew Brees was probably considered 1 point top 10 quarterback like 2 years ago. Ben Roethlisberger no longer on this list. A lot of quarterbacks you can go through. Deshaun, where's Deshaun Watson? I know he may not play next year. We'll see what happens. But let's assume Deshaun Watson plays this year. Deshaun Watson should be on this list. Okay, Deshaun Watson should be in the probably top 7. Because he was still great last year, even despite, how bad Houston was last year. So that's a little issue I have too. But all in all, the top 10 guys, aside from maybe just a couple of tweaks between 6 and 8, and then maybe not having Deshaun Watson on this list, I'm okay with it.